next to rock like Mick Foley. It's Nick Joby, kill him softly, play that shit slowly. On the keys like Tony, throwing subs, they get toasted. About my bread like a hoagie. This beat ice cold, look how I ride this Zamboni. I feel like old Tony, good anywhere you throw me. She eat a Chobani, cause her body getting bony. Late night, heavy scrolling, vape light, heavy smoking. We got our healthy habits, we been already growing. It's like we drowning in them, it seems the levee's broken. But it's not too late to change them. And refrain from being slaves to the vices that encage them. I'm writing on this page like I'm throwing hands with Satan. Don't run from all those demons, gotta stand your ground and face them. Sometimes you break, but through destruction comes a renovation. We all just trying to build a foundation. We all just trying to build a foundation. We all just trying to build a foundation. Yeah. Liquidity dry, I couldn't quit if I tried. It's been a ride through all the waves and the tides. Little emptiness inside from all them days with the guys. Try to mask it, but I know you see the pain in his eyes. Yeah.
Yo, what's happening, Geek Corner members? This is Earth Mac, the mad scientist, and this is the Orange Phoenix Show on a special Sunday edition. Yeah, Thursday was a little bit crazy, man. Thursday was off the hinges, man, because myself and Boogie Blends was on the traveling lanes, and I just got back in town, I would say, this morning. Actually, I had to zoom all the way down to Main Street to see the Lady Gamecocks parade, man. Don Staley and the Lady Gamecocks, man. I'm from South Carolina and had to drive down to see that parade, man. That parade lasted for, I would say, maybe a good hour and a half. Man, that was a long parade, man, but it was well worth it. It was a well worth it parade. Thousands of people was in the building, well, outside rather. And then it ended at the State House where Don Staley spoke. And we're looking to repeat in the next season. Shout out to Boogie Blends in his absence. He had an emergency that just came up today. So I'll be doing the show solo today. But that don't stop the show. That don't stop the show at all. Shout out to Duce Falco. Thank you for being in with the Geek Corner members today for the Orange Phoenix Show on a special Sunday. And tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Geek Corner, I encourage you to come back because we will be covering the new episodes of Brave, Bang Bravern, and Ninja Kamui, myself and Vivo. Today, we are going to talk about Captain America 4, Brave New World. We're definitely going to be talking about Peacemaker Season 2. And also, it's something I just ran across. Like, I literally just ran across, like, right before I started the show. And it's about N64 games. And according to this certain website, there's a list of N64 games that should be movies. And we're going to go through that list and see if you guys agree to that list, man. I mean, now, I'm going to be honest with you. Confession time. I never personally have an N64 or had an N64 in my home, but all my friends around me had an N64. So, I had PlayStation, they had PlayStation. So I experienced GoldenEye. You understand? I experienced GoldenEye. I experienced Smash Brothers. I experienced Mario Kart when it was on SNES first too. So, just because I didn't have the N64 in home didn't mean I didn't experience the full splendor that is N64, because this is like back in the day where there was no internet. You know what I mean? So, or internet was very slow, 56K modem, and we were taking our consoles to our homeboys or homegirls' house, and we can just, pick up the sticks and keep playing side by side. So, we're going to jump into some Captain America 4. So, according to certain reports, that there's been first look footage of Captain America 4. And that left a lot of people asking some questions, man. And so apparently the first published by Entertainment Weekly. Now, there are 2 images that were shared publicly after the first footage was screened for attendees at CinemaCon. One image features a close look at Mackie as Sam Wilson, seemingly on guard as he brandishes the shield previously bestowed to him by the previous Captain America. Another photo showcases Mackie Sam Wilson's facing off with Harrison Ford's Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Ford took over the role for late William Hurt, who last appeared as the character in 2021's Black Widow. Now, while the footage screened at CinemaCon wasn't released to the public, some details about what was shown have been revealed. A sneak peek featured footage of Ford's Thunderbolt Ross welcoming Sam Wilson to the White House, honoring him for his work seen in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, Ross tells Wilson that he needs help assembling Earth's mightiest heroes, perhaps a new Avengers, because, there's a good percentage of those Avengers that are no longer there or dead. So it says that, but it's not long before the trouble breaks out. A group of super soldiers break into the White House, attack the president. Among them is Carl Lumbly reprising his Falcon and Winter Soldier role as Isaiah Bradley. Now, if you remember Falcon Winter Soldier, Isaiah Bradley was one of the super soldiers that Sam and Buck met, and he spoke on how they was getting experimented on. They became super soldiers, but the world wasn't ready for a black Captain America, and how basically the nation got a lot of red on the ledger. So to see this is one of the main points of Brave New World, it makes sense, as far as his anger is concerned. Now, the one thing I did get from reading that is, according to CBR.com, it is a more grounded Marvel movie, because honestly, the last few Marvel movies we've been getting has been, all galaxy stuff, multiverse stuff, and it's, over the top. And honestly and truly, the last few movies that came out felt like it wasn't a whole lot of effort getting put in it. It wasn't on the same levels as Thanos saga. It wasn't on the same levels as Winter Soldier and Guardians, the 3 volumes, and Civil War and Black Panther. It wasn't on that same level. It didn't feel like it was on the same level. Like, it felt like it was force feeding, a certain demographic, and in midst of that, it kind of left the movie to suffer a little bit. So it's welcoming to get that Captain America 4 Brave New World is becoming a little bit more grounded. Now, I also heard rumors that Bucky would not be in this one. It's only going to be Sam, and it looks like, the new Black Widow, Yelena. So I'm very anxious to see what's going on. Now, I mean, there's also been rumors of the Red Hulk, that Thunderbolt Ross may be the Red Hulk. And speaking of the Hulk, it actually states that 2 of the Hulk's actors, Liv Tyler and Tim Blake from The Incredible Hulk, will reprise their respective roles as Betty Ross and the Leader. So now you intermingling this stuff. I always love the grounded Marvel movies. I feel like Winter Soldier still is one of my favorite Marvel movies, and for a very long time, it's been my number one MCU movie. Is Winter Soldier. Like, it was grounded. It just felt more realistic, if that makes sense. In a sense of the word. Like, tell me, guys, how you feel about Captain America 4 Brave New World. And I just started rewatching Falcon Winter Soldier, because I feel like Falcon Winter Soldier series was definitely one of my favorite ones. Loki is definitely up there. Like, those 2 series are definitely top tier to me. Also, I know me and Boogie spoke on X-Men 97. Listen, I feel like you shouldn't just go back to the Avengers. Like, X-Men is the way to go. The mutants is the way to go. Like, you see how much success X-Men 97 put out there, man. Episode 5 especially. Episode 5 got people in their feelings. You understand? Like, whoo. I don't want to spoil it for you, because I know it just happened this week. If you haven't watched episode 5 of X-Men 97, you got to watch episode 5 of X-Men 97. But look at how well thought out Bo DeMaio, how well thought out these stories are, man, how deep these stories are. And this is only 5 episodes, man. 5 episodes. You can easily take that and move it over to the MCU, because obviously we're dealing with the multiverse, right? So the X-Men, man, between Captain America 4 and X-Men, they can literally put MCU back on the map. Like it's not that hard to do. It's not that hard. And I do understand that filmmakers want to put their own personal spin or their own form of art on comic book movies, but you got to understand who you catering to. Like the demographic is comic book readers, and also there's another percentage of demographic of people that never read a comic book in their life. And I think, with the Thanos saga and the Infinity War saga rather, they did a perfect blend of comic book readers and non-comic book readers, and they meshed them together. But it was like a perfect blend. They left Easter eggs for us, the readers. It was like, oh, I remember that from issue yeah. And then they've got some people that just enjoy the movie for what it is, because it's just the characters is engaging and they can connect with the characters. So it was a success across the board. But again, I feel like they lost their way after Thanos, because I gave the MCU some grace, because this took 10 plus years to create Thanos. And now we at a point now that Thanos is no longer the big bad. Who's next? But there's a plethora of Marvel villains that bring heroes together to fight, so Galactus naming one, Dr. Doom can be that one. Apocalypse in some cases, Onslaught. Definitely Onslaught can be that. And you could definitely pull that together. Kang the Conqueror, obviously, but obviously with Jonathan Majors and his legal issues, that kind of put the kibosh on things. But that can leave room for, Dr. Doom. And Dr. Doom is definitely one of the smartest people in Marvel. I mean, obviously under Mr. Fantastic, of course, Reed Richards. But again, Captain America 4, Brave New World. I'm very anxious to see this movie. I think this movie is going to be done very well. And this is really the first movie where Anthony Mackie is in that lead role in the movie as far as Marvel is concerned. It's slated for February 14th, 2025. So we got to wait a little bit longer. We got to wait until February. But again, now later on in the show, I'm going to talk about Fallout series. And there's some other series that's out there that can tickle our palate up until the point of Captain America coming out. So, speaking of new premieres and whatnot, we got the new season of Peacemaker, season 2. Now, it says that big news has been shared, according to CBR.com, by James Gunn. Now, straight from the set of Peacemaker season 2, Gunn has announced that production has officially begun, while sharing a first sneak peek at John Cena's return as the titular character, Peacemaker. Now, on his Threads account, Gunn shared posts with the caption, Day 1, Season 2. Also included was an image taken from behind Cena suited back up in the character as Peacemaker. The photo is a close-up of the back of Peacemaker's helmet, and Gunn can be seen taking the picture in the reflection. Now, the reveal come days after John Cena teased that production would soon be starting on Season 2, and suggesting that production will last until just before Christmas. Jennifer Holland has previously shared that filming will start this summer, so production may be starting at a bit earlier than expected. And Danielle Brooks had also commented on how she was looking forward to production back in January. It's happening, according to Brooks, and told Deadline, that's all I know, it's happening. When? Not quite sure. So there's another one. So you got Peacemaker season 2 finally in production. It finally starts filming. They're going to finish by, from what I understand, from what I read, correct me if I'm wrong, by Christmas. I don't feel like it should take that long, but whatever. And so if it finished filming, just look for 2025 release. Just look for a 2025 release. That's all I can tell you. So like season 1 of Peacemaker, I feel like we can actually wait for season 2. I feel like there's a lot of other things we can do, a lot of other things we can watch, up until Peacemaker, season 2. There's a bunch of other anime that's out there, a bunch of other Marvel shows that's out there. Obviously, X-Men 97. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, season 2 is already finished. So who knows? We may get season 2 later this year of X-Men 97. I mean, why make us wait a whole nother year for that? And you already know it's finished. And there's already been a petition to bring back Boda DeMaio. You know, whatever the issue was between him and Disney. But as far as DC is concerned, it seems like they're keeping the ball rolling when it comes to the DCU. I'm giving the DCU a chance because the DCEU was a cluttered mess. It really was. It was a mess. Minus, there was a few key movies that were actually good. I didn't mind Ben Affleck as Batman. I didn't mind him. I'm gonna put a pin in that one for a second. But so when you look at Wonder Woman, the first one, not WW84, because that movie was terrible. But Wonder Woman was exceptionally good. Man of Steel, really good. Zack Snyder's Justice League, really good. I feel like that's probably one of the most cinematic comic book movies I've ever seen. And I'm both Marvel and a DC head. And I saw on TikTok last week where someone was pitting the Batmans against each other, right? And they was like, well, Ben Affleck's Batman will annihilate. You know, what's his name? Robert Pattinson. That Batman, the Batman, just mop the floor with him. So DC Falco says DC animated cooked. DC live action wasn't that great. He's absolutely correct. DC animation absolutely cooked in every step of the way. And I've said this ad nauseum. Why won't you get the writers from those DC animated films and pull them over to the live action films? Because I know they can bring us some heat when it comes to DC. DC is dark in ways that you never heard of. A lot of people don't realize that The Watchmen is a DC product. And obviously we got that in the full splendor. But back to the Batman conversation. Now, then people were saying, well, Michael Keaton's Batman versus Ben Affleck's Batman. And then someone put out an argument that Ben Affleck's Batman will kill Michael Keaton's Batman. And you know what? Let me say this before I go further. I'm a huge Michael Keaton fan. Michael Keaton's Batman, to me, is the best Batman portrayal. Can't change my mind. Maybe I'm gatekeeping. Maybe I'm gatekeeping when it comes to Batman because I grew up on that Batman. You know, that was my first introduction to Batman on the big screen, other than the 1960 ones. But yeah. But when it comes to a one-on-one fight, Ben Affleck for sure. Batfleck, yes, will kill Michael Keaton's Batman. Ben Affleck's Batman had way more gadgets. Like, he took on Superman, almost killed him until Superman said Martha, and then you're like, why did you say that name? You know, he almost killed Superman. He almost did that. Like, almost stabbed him with the kryptonite. Had his own suits. I mean, he held his own. This man dodged a point blank shotgun blast while hanging on the ceiling. He was fast enough to dodge that. Haven't seen that with my Keaton Batman, but yeah, Ben Affleck's Batman is definitely more dangerous. He's definitely more lethal. He definitely more seasoned. He will not hesitate to kill you, even though Michael Keaton's Batman did do his share of killing twice, actually. Especially when he hit that clown, put a bomb in his pants, and threw him down the garbage chute. That was tragic stuff. But yes, to Deuce Falco, DC animation films definitely cooked, man. I don't know what a bad DC animated film looks like. It goes from good to great. It's never trash to great. It's always good to great. Like, you can go back and rewatch those things, man. Like, I can watch them in chronological order. It's just such good content. And I'm like, why they don't correlate that to not live films? And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about filmmakers want to put their own personal spin. Some of them had never read a comic book in their life. I'm like, well, maybe you shouldn't say that out loud. And you're like, I don't want to go read a comic book because I want to put my own thing on it. Maybe that's your freaking problem. Maybe that's why you lose money on these comic book movies, because you don't give a shit. And if you don't give a shit, we're not going to give a shit, because you don't want to read the source material to bounce your thought process off that says source material. I mean, it's not like Hollywood don't have an original thought in their mind, because they've been doing remakes since for the past 10, 15 years at least. Remakes of older movies that were great. Some of them was good, some of them were terrible. But if you're a filmmaker and you trying to make a video game adaptation, live action adaptation, or you trying to make a comic book adaptation as live action, it will behoove you to actually read some of the source material. That way you can bounce some ideas. Madam Web. Oh my gosh. Madam Web. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Now, Sydney Sweeney, she read some comic books, and the Spider-Woman entrance, how she used to come in upside down, she wanted to put that in the film. It wasn't originally in the film. She actually, said, hey, I want this in here, because that's how she comes in. That's her doing the research. I don't know the director. I don't know if she did she do research or not. I'm not accusing her of not doing research, because I don't know. But to hear certain filmmakers say, hey, I don't read the comic book. I'm not going to. I'm not trying to. And we're not asking you to use word for word, bar for bar, put it on live action. But at least pull from the source material. Pull from the people that actually read some of the films, like some of the most successful comic book movies in the industry, financially speaking. Study them. Be open to ideas. And I think James Gunn is the perfect candidate for the DCU, because this is like a whole new ball game here. Like The Flash, by all intents and purposes, was actually good. But considering the actor that was playing The Flash, it didn't financially do so well. Because of the actor. But Michael Keaton as 89 Batman, that's the only reason why I went to go see that movie in the first place. That's it. Then you got, the new Aquaman. Obviously, the new Aquaman was actually pretty decent. I will say that. But that's it. That's it for the DCEU. So we got a clean slate. This new Superman, I feel like it's gonna slap, especially with Green Lantern being in it and other heroes being in it from DC. And James Gunn has a knack for putting obscure characters from the comic book universe and putting them up in the forefront, i.e. Guardians of the Galaxy. Because I don't know anyone, especially in my childhood, that actually went out their way to get a Guardians of the Galaxy comic book. We got Spider-Man, we went and got X-Men, we went and got the Avengers, Captain America. We got the mainstream, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man. We got the mainstream stuff. Nobody really picked up Guardians of the Galaxy. I never saw that in Revco. That's now CVS. I'm telling on myself. Never seen it in Revco, never seen it in the drugstore. Never seen it in a convenience store. Never seen those type of comics in convenience store. Just the main ones, right? But James Gunn put Guardians in the forefront to the point where, holy shit, these are Marvel characters, and I like these characters. Where can I go get this comic book? A Guardians of the Galaxy #1, like a first appearance. It probably was low tier as far as price goes, and then now that Guardians at the forefront, man, the price of that probably jumped up quadruple. Well, probably more than that. More than quadruple the price of that comic book. But James Gunn has a knack for picking out obscure characters. So he already mentioned Booster Gold. So I have a new 52 line of Booster Gold. So DC characters have a lot of side characters out there that could very well be at the forefront. And Gunn is the guy that does that. Long as he has the freedom to do what he wants to do with these said characters. Because when you got Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, leaps and bounds better than Suicide Squad with Will Smith. I wanted to like Suicide Squad with Will Smith so much. I'm like, this would have been 10 times better if it was rated R. Had they cut Suicide Squad loose, because by all intents and purposes, Suicide Squad is edgy. Suicide Squad is bloody. Just give them the R rating. Just let them have it. But again, I got faith in the DCU, and we'll see how it goes. We'll definitely see how it goes. Now, next up is, we got some news about Michael J. Fox. Now, Michael J. Fox says, according to CBR.com, he says that actors had it rougher in the 80s. Now, it's stated that speaking to People magazine, Fox recalled an expression I referred upon receiving the John Herschel Humanitarian Award at 2022 Academy Awards. Somebody said to me the day before they were talking about getting this award and being famous, and they said, "You're 80s famous." I thought, wow, that's cool. 80s famous. Right. We were different. He continued to say we were tougher. We didn't have social media. We didn't have any of that crap. We were just famous, left to our own resources. When asked whether celebrities in the 80s had a rougher go of things than the celebrities of today, Fox responded, "Well, you had to be talented. We used to bust our ass, our acting muscles, watch other actors and sit around with other actors and talk about acting and talk about it. And now you've got people who just go like, who's your sweater? What's your sweater you're wearing? And what's that dance step? And you're the most famous person in the world." Now, he rose to fame in Family Ties, and his leading role in Marty McFly is 1985's Back to the Future. Now, the question is there any truth to what I keep saying Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox is saying? There is some truth to what he's saying. I mean, back in the 80s, there was no social media. There was no cell phones like that. I mean, cell phones that you could afford, because right now everybody has a cell phone. But back in the day, not everybody could afford a cell phone. You had those bag phones to carry with you, and there was hundreds of dollars. So not everybody have access to that. Like, you literally had to watch and learn, and you have easier access to things now. And maybe can't say Michael J. Fox is a little bitter. He's just saying that's how he grew up in acting, because that's just his upbringing. But if you look at things these days, things are a little bit easier for the consumer. Things are a little bit easier for a person that wants to learn. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I think one of the things is for the American dream is to make as much money as possible with minimum effort. Like, make as much money as possible so you don't have to work forever in a day. Like, if it's easier for you to digest information as far as like an actor or actress or a writer or whatever through the social media or whatever, and you end up perfecting your craft and being successful at it, who am I to say you're trash? Who am I to say you didn't go through the grind? Your grind was a little bit easier than mine. It just, you figure out a better way. And I think sometimes, like with old heads, when it comes to anything, sometimes we be in our own way and don't realize there's an easier way to do things. Like, we want to struggle just to say, hey, we struggled to get to that point. Again, Michael J. Fox has a point in what he's saying, but he's talking about like his personal experiences with acting. Like, he had no other choice but to do this. But actors and actresses these days have easier access to things, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Not being a hater at all. So on to the next conversation. The Fallout series is on Amazon Prime, and let me tell you something. I watched the first episode of Fallout series, and I will finish it tonight because Orange Phoenix magazine will be releasing this month, and the Fallout series. I'm gonna do an article on the Fallout series this month, and I have to finish it. So the first episode of Fallout series, man, I was completely floored, man. I was like, yo, what is this? And I'm one of the individuals. I'm gonna give you a little bit of history. I would say back in 2010, 2011, I was out training, and my roommate at the time, he was playing this game, and I was like, what is this you playing? He was like, Fallout New Vegas. And I was like, yo. And so what's funny about it, I never really played a Fallout game, right? When I walked around the dorms, everybody was playing Fallout New Vegas, like to some capacity, right? To the point where I could just look and like, you playing New Vegas? Yeah, I'm playing New Vegas. And I should have picked it up at the point in time. And it was two games people was picking up. There was Skyrim and New Vegas, but mostly New Vegas was people around me were playing. And I I didn't really inquire about it too much. Didn't really was too inquisitive about it. And then fast forward, you got Fallout 76, and then Fallout 76 came out, and man, that game got trashed. I mean, trashed. I mean, obviously it's not getting trashed now because, they updated a lot of things, they patched up a lot of things, and oh, this is nice now. But fast forward to this Fallout series. I watched this Fallout first episode, man, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. And I know this is a video game. I like the whole ambiance, like the atmosphere, the scenes. I really did love the scenes, like the cinematography of it all. And I'm a big proponent of stuff in the background, like scenery. And I really like the colors and everything. And I was like, wow, this is really dope. I'm going to have to pick up a Fallout game. So I went on Twitter. Because I asked about the Fallout game. I said, hey, there was a professional wrestler by the name of Nyla Rose. And Nyla Rose was on there. She was talking about the Fallout series back and forth. And I actually tweeted her and I was like, hey, what I'm thinking about getting Fallout 4. And it's on sale from Steam, which it is, by the way. If you want the Fallout series, if you got a PC, Steam has a sale going on. Fallout 4 is like $5. And if you want like the Ultimate Edition or the Game of the Year Edition, then it's $10. But whatever. New Vegas, I think it's like $5 or $6 or something like that. For dirt cheap. And she said Fallout 4. Then I asked her a question the next day, and I said, hey, if you had a choice between Fallout 4 as a first time playing or New Vegas, which one would you pick? And she said, that's a tough question, but considering that there's new content that's coming out, and I heard about a remaster New Vegas, but there's nothing concrete about it, I would say Fallout 4 is your best bet. So I'm like, bump it. I got Fallout 4, and I played a little bit. Let me tell you, I played at least the first 10 minutes or so of Fallout 4, and I was hooked. I was like, yo, this story is wild, man. And so that is great. That's a good thing, because I'm telling you my experiences, because I never played Fallout before up until yesterday. And my first time seeing the Fallout series, I absolutely like it. See, you remember what I was saying earlier in the episode, where if you're a non-comic book reader and you watch an MCU movie and you got hooked on it and you didn't know, you just got first introduced to these characters? Same effect with me and not playing Fallout, watching the first episode of this series, because I'm like, that what made me go play the game. That what made me go buy the game. And I'm gonna tell you, it is top tier, and it debuted at #1 for Amazon Prime. Now, Prime Video took a Fallout Official X, formerly known as Twitter account, to celebrate the achievement. Initially scheduled to drop on April 12th and moved up to April 11th, Fallout premiered on April 10th with all 8 episodes. Video to become the #1 show worldwide on the streamer. And Duce Falco says, Fallout 2 was my favorite, then New Vegas. Yeah, I heard good things about Fallout 2. I heard great things about New Vegas. But New Vegas is my next one after I finish Fallout 4. If I finish Fallout 4. Because I feel like, well, actually, the rumor is they dropped out a new update. They're dropping a new update for next gen for Fallout 4, which is crazy. And it says that Fallout stars Ella Purnell, Lucy McLean, Aaron Moulton as Maximus, Kyle McLachlan as Hank McLean, Moise Arias as Norm McLean, Azealia Mendez-Jones as Dane, Walton Goggins as the Ghoul. And it stated that part of Prime's video's Fallout synopsis reads, based on one of the greatest video game series of all time, Fallout is the story of haves and have-nots. In a world where there's almost nothing left to have, 200 years after the apocalypse, the gentle denizens of luxury Fallout shelters are forced to return to the irradiated hellscape their ancestors left behind, and are shocked to discover an incredibly complex, gleefully weird, and highly violent universe waiting for them. And it says Amazon acquired the rights to make the live action project and announced the Fallout series in July 2020. And Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joyce Kilter Films joined Bethesda Game Studios to produce the show, with Nolan directing its first 3 episodes. Now, it is interesting to note that Walton Goggins, the actor that plays the ghoul, never played Fallout series, but his kids did. So they did a Q&A question now with Ella Purnell and basically the main three actors, and Ella really got, I would say, 98% of the questions right when it came to Fallout, like the game and like the series. Like, she knew how many vaults there were, and I was like, it was crazy. It was crazy. Like, she literally did her research. So I'm really loving the Fallout series, man. I really am, man. It's probably one of the best series of 2024. It has potential to be. Obviously Shogun is out there, but Fallout, man, that's that new toy. It's that new toy. It's that new car scent. And that's what that is. And everybody's watching this thing. #1 worldwide on streaming. Crazy stuff. Now, I won't say as much as like a spoiler or anything of that nature, because A, I haven't finished it. B, I want you guys to finish it because it's 8 episodes. And on top of all that, there's a new series. Well, I won't say a new series, continuing series of Chucky that is out right now, as well as the season finale of Invincible season 2. That's finally finished, even though we got this crazy stupid break after the 4th episode, which is still salty about that. But either way, go check out the Fallout series and be sure to subscribe to Orange Phoenix Magazine so you can read about Fallout series and what I think. Also, in this new issue of Orange Phoenix Magazine, I interviewed Eric and Julia Lewald, and they were the writer and showrunners for X-Men the animated series, and as executive consultants of X-Men 97. And there was a little Q&A in an interview with them, and that will also be in the magazine as well. Now, lastly, something I just ran across right before the show started was Screen Rant says there are 10 great N64 games that deserves movies. Now, I want you guys to actually tell me, do you agree with this list or not? Now, number 10, it says Wave Race 64. It says Wave Race 64's enduring popularity, critical acclaim demonstrates its potential to attract a wider audience, as the game's thrilling races and high-stakes competition would be just as exciting to watch on the big screen as they are to play. By delving into the backstories of the game's characters and exploring the rivalries between racers, Wave Race 64 movie could create an emotionally compelling narrative that complements the intense racing sequences. With its combination of stunning visuals, engaging characters, and adrenaline-pumping action, Wave Race 64 has all the elements necessary to make a successful transition from video game to feature film. How do I feel about this? Okay, so you got Fast and Furious, right? One of the most successful franchises ever. Every movie that they made money, right? We might get tired of it because of the ridiculousness of the stunts, but I don't know, man. You tried Need for Speed. That was a movie. Not good. It was not good. Falco says no for Wave Race, yes for Extreme G. Yo, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with Extreme G. Number 9. I feel like everybody will agree with this. Star Fox 64. Now it says that the Lilac system serves as a vast and vibrant playground, a concept that could be beautifully adapted into a feature film with its diverse cast of you know that word, characters, each with their own unique personalities and abilities. There's major potential for a new Nintendo movie franchise, as Star Fox 64 offers a rich universe filled with potential for compelling character arcs, interactions on the big screen, and the game's story, which follows Fox McCloud and his team on a mission to save the galaxy from the evil Andros, provides a solid foundation for a thrilling action-packed cinematic narrative. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Lucy Falco says Star Fox. Yes, furries are gonna love it. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Look at the success of Super Mario. Like that movie was, man. Listen, Super Mario is great. You know what I'm saying? Great. And the way they did that, man. I mean, you could do the exact same thing for Star Fox. The exact same thing you did for Sonic. Like they got a Knuckles series going to drop later on, like, you know, later on this month. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're dealing in an era where there are successful video game movies. Star Fox is very easy to create. Very easy. And people are going to love it, man. Like, man, I'm getting excited for no reason. The next one, though, let's see if you agree with this one. Number 8, Perfect Dark. Now, it says that the game's approach to difficulty demonstrates a level of depth and thoughtfulness that could translate well to a compelling cinematic storyline. While GoldenEye might have achieved greater commercial success due to its James Bond license, Perfect Dark's refinement of the console FPS formula and its unique setting make it an ideal candidate for a gripping sci-fi action movie. With its potential to captivate audiences, Perfect Dark could offer a fresh and exciting take on the genre. I agree. Like, Perfect Dark is another movie that can easily be done. Easily can be done. Like, I think to screw that movie up, to screw Perfect Dark up, you got to be the most suckiest. Like, that and Star Fox. If you screw those two movies up, like you just don't need to be in Hollywood at all. Like, that means you didn't look at none of the video game lore. You didn't do no research. You just said, bump it. I'm going to do my own thing, and people are going to love it because I'm a filmmaker and they're not. Nah, you can't screw Perfect Dark up. You can't screw Star Fox up. Number 7. I'm a little iffy on number 7. But number 7 is Banjo-Kazooie. Now, it says that Banjo-Kazooie's hilarious dialogue and memorable personalities, such as the villainous witch Gruntilda and the wisecracking shaman Mumbo Jumbo, could translate perfectly to the big screen, providing plenty of opportunities for witty banter and comedic moments. Banjo and Kazooie's adventures through the game's diverse levels, each filled with unique challenges and collectibles like the Golden Jiggies and the Hidden Jinjos, offer a ready-made structure for engaging dynamic film narrative. I'm a little leery on Banjo-Kazooie. Like, I was never a fan of Banjo-Kazooie, so maybe I'm a little biased when it comes to that. But we'll see. Now, Falco says, I want Metal Gear Solid or Sci-Fi Filter or Splinter Cell first. You know what? I absolutely agree. You can easily make Metal Gear Solid. You can easily make Splinter Cell. Like, come on. Easy work. Honestly, truly, Splinter Cell can be a series. You can make Splinter Cell a series, and people are going to eat that up. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Tell me how that's not going to work. Tell me how that's not going to work. Because there's Tom Clancy movies out there. There's Tom Clancy series that's out there that are very successful. But Splinter Cell, Metal Gear Solid, oh my God. Metal Gear Solid is cinema altogether. Like, Metal Gear Solid is one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 1. I mean, it's like I was playing a movie. I felt like a spy in that. It's like, man, crazy. So yeah, I'm with Duce Falco 100%. He says that Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell TV show would work, and he says no for Banjo, but it could work. It could, but I don't think people are asking for it. No, but I know people that have been asking for Metal Gear Solid, and I know some people that have been asking for Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell can definitely be a TV series, and Metal Gear Solid can definitely be a trilogy. It could be a movie. It could be movies if you do it right. Now the next one up, okay. The next one, it says Mario Party. Clearly the person that made this list did not watch Super Mario, But it says from the frantic scramble of mushroom mix up to the precision-based antics of the facelift, these mini games could be cleverly woven into the film's narrative, and this could be the perfect opportunity to showcase the characters' teamwork, rivalries, and growth. Listen, when you're going to make a Super Mario sequel, just include Mario Party in there as a reference. Like they did Mario Kart. You don't need a separate movie for Mario Party. That's overkill. And that's you nickel and diming your consumers. That's like, we're gonna milk this thing until the wheels fall off. Just include. Falco says next game. Thank you. Next game. That was dumb. That was dumb. Nah. Number 5. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. It says that the game's innovative mechanics such as the lock-on system, 3D sword combat, clever use of items like the hook shot and lens of truth could be seamlessly adapted into thrilling action sequences and captivating puzzle-solving moments on the big screen. Ocarina of Time's dual time zones and intricate dungeons provides a rich tapestry for a film's narrative. It can be a great film. However, I wouldn't start at Ocarina of Time. I would start at the beginning, and honestly and truly, I would make a series out of Legend of Zelda, like a live action series. Honestly, you can make bank. When I say bank, you can make bank out of a Legend of Zelda live action series. It can be done, easily can be done. It's like Netflix. No. Amazon Prime. Yo, you're doing good with Fallout. You're doing excellent with Fallout. I think Peacock has Twisted Metal. Really good stuff. You know what? I'm gonna give it a Netflix too, because Netflix can do some things with live action Zelda series, but you got to start from the beginning, like the beginning of the story. You can't start in Ocarina of Time, as even though Ocarina of Time is one of the greatest Zelda games ever. You can't start there. You got to start from the beginning, and work your way up to certain things, and you can just make those seasons the way it is. Like Zelda is easy to make. The next one, which honestly I would be excited for, like I would watch this. Like, how would you adapt it into a movie that makes it box office? I don't know. This is number 4, and it's 1080 snowboarding. I remember playing this game at my homeboy's house. It says that snowboarding's focus on the technical aspects of the sport could be adapted into intense and suspenseful sequences that highlight the skill and determination of the characters. Now, the game's challenging nature and the sense of accomplishment that comes with mastering its mechanics could serve as a compelling narrative arc, following the journey of a protagonist as they navigate the high-stakes world of competitive snowboarding. With this unique blend of realism, exhilaration, 1080 snowboarding has the potential to inspire a gripping sports movie that showcases the thrill and beauty of the sport like never before. Falco says 1080 is a maybe. I said the same thing. 1080 can be done though. It can be done. How to make it like a box office film? That's the tricky part. That's the tricky part. Like with sports movies, man, you got to have like some kind of drama with that, and I can't say it's easily can be done, but 1080 snowboarding, obviously you got to call it something different. Just call it 1080, but that would be a challenge to make. That'd be a challenge to make. Now the next one up, number 3, I feel like it's another one of those situations where you can just include it in the next Mario movie, and that is Diddy Kong Racing, like one of the greatest racing games out, just period. Because I feel like in some ways Diddy Kong was better than Mario Kart, but that's another conversation for another day. But it says the game's memorable soundtrack, filled with catchy tunes, could be adapted into a lively and energetic musical score that perfectly complements the on-screen adventures. The game is full of charming worlds, inventive gameplay mechanics, and beloved characters, making a Diddy Kong Racing movie a potential hit. Capturing the spirit of the classic racer while introducing its delightful universe to a whole new generation is extraordinary. Diddy Kong Racing. I don't think it needed to be a standalone movie. I think it just needed to be included in Super Mario or a standalone Donkey Kong movie. But Diddy Kong Racing as a movie on its own, nah. As much as I love Diddy Kong Racing, I can't put that in the same. Nah, can't be done. So, oh snap! Somebody that agreed. Falco says Diddy Kong is better than Mario Kart, but that's for another topic. Listen, I feel like next week myself and Boogie Blends need to talk about that. Diddy Kong Racing and Mario Kart. Like which one we think is truly better. That is a debate, son. I'm gonna ask Vivo that question too. Like which one you think is better, Mario Kart or Diddy Kong Racing, man? Because I know some people that says Diddy Kong is better than Mario Kart. So number 2, it says Donkey Kong 64. Now it says that while Donkey Kong movie could never be as weird as a 1990s TV show, DK64's expansive worlds ranging from lush jungles to industrial wastelands could be brought to life with stunning visual effects, creating an immersive and exciting backdrop for Kong's quest. The game's numerous mini games and challenges could be cleverly woven into the film's narrative as entertaining nods to the gaming industry. With its larger-than-life characters, vibrant world, and potential for humor and heart, Donkey Kong 64 movie could be nostalgic. I wholeheartedly agree. This can easily be done. I'm not sure if they can do this because Donkey Kong was introduced in Super Mario. Like, how are you going to incorporate Donkey Kong in his own movie and it's in the same like world? But it can be done though. If you do a standalone Donkey Kong movie, I wouldn't be mad at it because I'm gonna watch it. Like Donkey Kong, like the retro Donkey Kong games, like from back in the day where you had to save the princess. Really love those games. Donkey Kong Country for SNES, man. Listen, Rare put their foot in it. And Falco said, who made this list? Hey, listen, when you put Diddy Kong Racing and you put Mario Party in this list, that makes me question it as well. Mind you, the source is Screen Rant, okay? It's not IGN. It's not GameSpot. This is Screen Rant. That means somebody didn't watch, whoever made this list didn't watch Super Mario. Ooh. Number 1 is F-Zero X. Can be done. It says F-Zero X technical achievements could be translated into a visually stunning sequence that showcase the adrenaline pumping action and breathtaking environments. The game's emphasis on intense pack racing, and the inherent dangers of navigating the challenging courses could serve as the basis for the gripping plot filled with rivalries, alliances, and high-stakes competitions. Now, with his innovative track design, memorable characters, and potential for thrilling visuals, an F-Zero X movie could deliver a fresh take on the racing genre. Can be done, but it's also an anime. It's also an anime series. I found it on YouTube. F-Zero is definitely an anime series. It can be done as a live action film. Yes, it can be done. But they got to be very careful in making it. I would say study the anime series of F-Zero. Falco says F-Zero or Stream G can easily be movies. I wholeheartedly agree. 110%. Yeah, F-Zero can definitely be done. Can definitely be done. Like, why not? Why not? And I found the anime series by accident. My first encounter with it was I was at an anime convention, and obviously you go into the dealer's room and just look around, you see a bunch of stuff, and I saw a DVD set, like a series set of F-Zero. Now F-Zero is not on Crunchyroll, and it's not on Funimation either, so I did find it on YouTube, and I can go back and actually watch it. I haven't watched the series per se, but from what I saw off the clips that I've seen, it's really, really good. Like, it really is engaging. It really can catch your attention. I highly encourage you to watch it. If the series is still on there, because it's been a while back. I would say maybe a year and a half or so ago, I watched parts of it on YouTube, and I think the entire series is on YouTube if they haven't taken it away. Because right now, Crunchyroll is the only anime streaming service. Wink, wink. You know what I mean? So yeah. So if it's not on YouTube, I definitely can say you can get the DVD set on Amazon Prime, or you can check Amazon Prime. It may be on Amazon Prime, like just kind of like a hideaway thing. I found Virtua Fighter anime on Amazon Prime. Like, go figure, right? So, but F-Zero can be done. It can easily be done. And but yes, that is our show for today. Thank you guys for actually hanging out with me on this Sunday evening, right? This cool Sunday evening. I hope you guys hung out outside a little bit because it was 83 degrees where I'm at, and time, just to hang out, get some fresh air and stuff, and stay away from the pollen. Stay away from the pollen. Falco saying, point being, Nintendo can make some money. Yes. Nintendo has always made money. Okay? Like Nintendo Switch, that's why they're so damn stingy with their exclusive. That's why they're so stingy with putting first party games, even third party games on sale on the Switch e-store. Like, man, it's like, why we need to put this stuff on sale for? You're gonna pay for it anyway. That's what it is. But either way, that is our show for today, man. And we will be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern time to talk Brave Bang Bravern and Ninja Kamui. Hope to see you guys there. So until next time, y'all, peace.